Hey, this is Mina, and here's 3 days of cooking some really easy and simple, but not boring, vegan meals for myself. We're also going to be doing some cozy but intense baking, featuring the best cinnamon roll recipe ever. Feel free to give this video a thumbs up, and thank you to Squarespace for the support. In my previous video, I asked you guys for advice on how to best use up a giant can of leftover red bean paste. And a lot of comments suggested bobura toast, which is essentially just toast with sweetened red bean paste or Anko and butter. And so that is what this breakfast here is inspired by. First, I spread my toast with cashew butter. Then a good amount of the red bean paste and strawberries, because I really love the combination of strawberry and Anko, and here I'm also adding some sesame seeds. Next, I'm making a brown sugar vanilla iced coffee. Like, this is how I've been drinking my coffee for the past 2 weeks. So to a small heat-proof cup, I'm adding 1 teaspoon of brown sugar and some vanilla, like vanilla aroma drops. And then I'm letting my coffee machine pour 2.5 shots of espresso on here. I do 2.5 because, not to sound too much like a coffee snob, but I have found that these smaller barista espresso makers, they make the espresso quite watery, which I don't mind at all. I really like that, actually. And so then I'm pouring the 2 to 3 shots straight onto the ice, and then some oat milk, of course. Moving on to this salad I made for lunch here. It was so good. First, I'm cutting up some cherry tomatoes, as well as some lettuce. And now for the dressing, I'm blending all the ingredients up. So that's gonna be some soft tofu, some vegan sour cream, lots of lemon juice, olive oil, a little bit of agave, lots of fresh basil, a splash of water, and some salt, which I forgot for a second there. I also added like half a can of mixed beans on here, then the dressing, of course, and then I mixed everything thoroughly. I added some walnuts, and then I ate the salad alongside some toasted bread. Apparently it's protein bread, whatever that means. I also had some leftover vegan cheese here, some of these vegan meat snacks that make me feel like I'm back in elementary school. And later on in the evening, I made myself a yogurt bowl. This one starts with unsweetened soy yogurt, quick cooking oats, strawberries, unsweetened cacao, this sweetened cashew butter. This stuff tastes like white chocolate to me. It's so good. Some friends gifted it to me. I have to figure out where they got it from. Really good song, really good song. I want to know what's in this. Oh, but it says roasted cashews. That's probably the difference. This stuff is so good.
Purple or violet stands for spirituality, enlightenment, and letting go.
I was back home at around midnight, doing a little bit of midnight snacking.
And I don't like it. At first, I wasn't too fond of you, but...
Now on to day 2, starting with a giant cup of tea. This has to be my favorite tea. This is the Trader Joe's spiced chai. And when I saw it at Trader Joe's, something shifted. I used to be obsessed with this tea like 7-8 years ago when I spent a few months in California, which I'm pretty sure I filmed like 1 or 2 videos while I was there. So it's like black tea, spices. I think it is whatever natural flavor aroma they put in here, and the vanilla. It is amazing. And I bought 2 packets while I was in the US. I'm making oats right now. I've been really into very thick, almost sticky rice texture-esque oats recently, and I'm still in the process of using up my can of red bean paste, so I'm gonna add some of it in here, I think, or maybe on top, or maybe straight to the oats. What do you think? Maybe we'll do both. Okay, I actually ended up adding the bean paste to the center of the cooked oats, and then I covered everything in strawberries and sesame seeds and a little bit of oat milk. And then I made another one of those iced brown sugar coffees. This was really good. Oh, and I also added some more of the roasted cashew butter. So my friend Artemis recently introduced me to konggukso. So it's this Korean cold noodle soup, but like icy cold. And that's what we're gonna be making for lunch. Or something along those lines. Yeah, I did switch up a few things, but it was still so good. First, I brought some salted water up to a boil, and then I added around 2 servings of these thin noodles, and I let them cook for about 3 to 4 minutes or until tender. For the sauce, I'm once again using my trusty little blender, and I'm blending up some tofu, cashew butter, this is the regular unsweetened kind, salt, white wine vinegar, roasted sesame oil, some nutritional yeast, and water. And that is it for the sauce. If you feel like it's too thick, add some more water. And then I'm adding a large handful of ice to my bowl, the cold noodles, and some of the tofu sauce. And as for toppings, I would suggest adding some like fresh but flavorful ingredients, like I'm going with vegan kimchi. This is some pre-fried tofu that I got from the Asian supermarket. Oh, you could add some cucumber here, some pickled onions, some carrot. This is genuinely so yummy. To my brain, it's still a little bit confusing eating this since I expect this to be warm, but it's really good. Now for dinner, I essentially had the same thing, since I had a second serving of noodles and half the tofu sauce left over. But this time I also included a spicy sauce consisting of gochujang, soy sauce, agave, white wine vinegar, and hot water. But yeah, this fits so perfectly. I feel like I like this version even better. And then it was time to once again attend a Twilight screening. This one was for Eclipse, celebrating its 15th anniversary.
Then we have this little Eclipse themed, perfect on theme, not like this backdrop, tin can, which you can put whatever you want in there. The possibilities are endless. Next we have this gorgeous, delicious little handbag with a little new moon and a little Jacob on it. Take it to the club, whatever.
I hadn't seen Eclipse in so long, and so I've forgotten pretty much everything that happens in this movie, including some of the more outrageous scenes. It is super interesting to me though how differently I react to these moments now compared to when I watched them in my late and early teens, because oh my god. Thursday morning, I was busy baking. I was tasked with producing a huge quantity of cinnamon rolls. Honestly, they were perfect. In my large mixing bowl, I first placed some melted vegan butter, sugar, vanilla, non-dairy milk. I gave that a quick mix, and then I added 2.5 packets of dry active yeast. Very important to go for a yeast brand that you know works, but we are going to double check and make sure it's alive in a bit anyway. I'm putting this mixture into my oven with the lights on only, just to give it like a nice closed environment to rest for about 10 minutes. In the meantime, I made myself breakfast, a little smoothie consisting of 2 bananas, lots of unsweetened soy yogurt, vanilla, oats, tiny bit of agave, and water. I almost forgot the most important thing, ice cubes. Now this is the moment you double check and see if the yeast is in fact alive. So this one looks pretty good. I'm adding the flour, which is just an entire pack, like 1 kilo, plus the salt and cinnamon. I mix this with a wooden spoon first until it roughly comes together. And then I dumped this onto my surface and used my hands to knead everything for 6 to 10 minutes. As always, it helps to use lightly oiled hands. It also helps to adjust the consistency with some extra flour. But yeah, the goal is for this not to be super sticky anymore. And then I gave this about 1 hour someplace warm. While the dough was resting, I went out, got some coffee, and then I came back just in time. Okay. Now on a lightly floured surface, I'm kneading the dough one last time for just 1 to 2 minutes. Now since this is such a huge dough, I would recommend cutting this in half and working in 2 batches. We'll have to wait. So first, I'm rolling 1 batch into a large rectangle, kind of using my cutting board as a guide, and then I'm adding a generous amount of melted vegan butter. Next, I'm putting together the cinnamon sugar and sprinkling about half the mixture on top. I'm rolling these up from the longer end to get as many rolls out of this as possible. Like each batch is going to give you 11 to 12. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then I'm on to the next one. What is super important is giving them enough space to rise within the greased baking tins. I brushed all of them with a bit of oat milk and then let them bake for 25 minutes or until nice and golden brown at the top. While these are cooling down, I'm making myself some sandwiches. So that's vegan sour cream, some of the pre-fried tofu that I did pan fry one more time, and then I added some kimchi, sesame seeds, vegan salami, lettuce, and some vegan chili mayo. Should have probably put these in a different order, but oh my god, I'm so happy to eat this. I feel like I've been having standing meals all week. Yeah, so I'm gonna pack all these into this IKEA bag and then I'm gonna take an Uber there. I don't think I mentioned what I was making these for. A friend of mine hosted a crowdfunding event to fund her graduate student film. I didn't actually have the time to make a frosting, so all I did was put some cream cheese and some syrup next to the rolls. And then I had dinner at like 10 p.m. and we got these yummy chickpea wraps, which were really, really good. And that is everything for today's little food vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I definitely want to see some recipe recreations over on Instagram. I'm at Mina_Rome over there. Thank you so much for watching. And last but not least, a quick shout out to my sponsor, Squarespace. Squarespace makes it really easy to create a beautiful website, connect to your audience, share your art, sell your products, sell your content, and more. Start by choosing from their wide range of professionally designed website templates to get started, or build your site from scratch if you prefer. Also, create a new logo while you're at it. Have your website quickly get discovered with their optimized SEO tools, meaning you will show up more often in people's search engines and therefore grow your brand and business the way you want. If you need extra help, don't hesitate to ask their 24/7 award-winning customer service. Start today. Go to squarespace.com/MinaRome and use the code MinaRome to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.